All right, guys, what's going on? Thank you for joining me this morning. How does it look? How does it, more importantly, how does it sound? We know how it looks. It looks like shit. How does it sound? All right, all right, all right. Yeah, so, McBean, obviously I didn't watch it because I was doing my live stream, but I heard it was a shit show and I heard that a lot of the talking points were identical to what Trump has said in other State of the Unions, right? Or speeches for that matter. And a couple of people even said it sounded like a campaign, like he was campaigning again. Again, the guy doesn't know whether he's coming or going, so what's to expect? What are we to expect from him other than more, I guess, dementia stumbling speeches? Who knows, man? But anyway, um, that being said, guys, we're just in an interesting time period. Let's just table the Ukraine thing for a little bit, and let's table the whole COVID shit. We are in an interesting times right now where it seems that everybody wants to hate everybody for whatever reason it is, and people are so fast to believe bullshit today. It's insane. I've never. I don't. I mean, listen. I'm 44, so I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to know that we are seeing interesting shit happen with the human behavior. So today, not rather today, but for the last, I don't know, couple weeks, the human behavior that I've been seeing has been pretty scary. I have to say it's a little more scarier than Putin threatening a nuclear bomb or weapon, rather. Sorry. It just it doesn't sit right with the way people are behaving, and this is across the board around the world. So it's not just here in the United States; it's all over the place. Now, one can blame the arm ticket because there has been a definite change in people with that. But even before that was introduced to society, we started seeing people just go after one another for bullshit. Long-time friendship has broken up over bullshit. Again, the societal breakdown of mankind is in motion, and I don't think people are noticing it. Right? I mean, maybe some people are, but not enough. Not enough to make a difference. So, anyway, guys, with that, it seems like every situation that will pop up moving forward, um, yeah, it's not going to look good for us in the near future if we keep going down this path. All safe. Listen, the Trump election made a lot of people go crazy. This QAnon shit here in the United States, I don't know if it affected the world, but I know here in the United States, uh, people believe all of that, like that deep state shit, and Trump is embedded with the military, what you call operations, and he's gonna jump out of a cake and say that he's president again at the next fucking State of the Union Biden gives. Like you hear all of these crazy things. There's so much crazy shit that people are saying. I'm like, and then with this whole Ukraine shit, more people are saying more crazy, insane shit. And all you have to do is look at Putin as a person for the last 20 years or 22 years, sorry, and even before that. And then again, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand that you hate your president so much, you rather back a Russian president. It doesn't make sense, right? And then you have people saying, crazy shit like, well, there's an alien invasion on the way. That's why we're acting the way we're acting. What? I, so some of the things that you hear, guys, it just doesn't make sense. And I feel like every time I hear things like that, I get stupider. Clara, I think it's QAnon. But I say QAnon, but I think it's QAnon. I mean, listen, it really doesn't matter. It's just Q idiots. It's easier to say that because some of the shit that people were saying were fucking insane. Just across the board. It's just not even just about the election or Trump, just across the board. I mean, for Christ's sakes, guys, they were like, look at that. Tom Hanks has, was in this. would look like a jail cell with an interview. I'm like, what? It was just everything was connected back to um, some conspiracy theory, and it was just insane. And we're running into the same thing again with this whole uh, crisis that's going on in the Ukraine. We're running into the same shit. Just it's gotten worse. Yeah, the alien thing was fucking insane. Someone actually said that twice in my comment section. If you look on my last video, the one that like ripped a hole in the prepper community, apparently. If you look on the comment sections, you'll see like one or two things about alien invasions. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And McBean, exactly. I mean, listen, every American should be embarrassed by Biden. Every American, because apparently during his State of the Union last night, he said that everything was going well. Let's go back a couple of more days. He even went ahead to say that people being affected by COVID is the reason why we don't see how good America is doing now, or something to that effect. So, again, now everybody's shifting blame on everything else. Nobody wants to take blame, right? We have the Democrats saying the reason why the Ukraine invasion happened was because of imperialism. So now it's aliens, imperialism, deep state, money laundering, sex trafficking. This is why all the Ukraine shit's happening. And I'm like, okay. I mean, like, I don't, all right, whatever. So I discovered last night in my live stream when I was talking to you guys, or some of you guys, I discovered I'm arguing with stupid people and I'm bringing my IQ level down even further. I'm not saying I have a high IQ. I'm not saying that at all. But what left I have, I'm diminishing it by arguing with stupid people. So I'm learning to not engage with stupidity. 300 Warriors. There's no. Now, what's his name? Said that last night. The Canadian prepper. The last video he released, he said something about we're at DEF CON 2. There is no confirmation to that. And I spoke to one military guy, and even he said he didn't know. And he didn't know. So, again, the whole DEF CON 2 shit. The community is assuming we're at DEF CON 2 because of the threat of nuclear war. But according to a couple of sources, we haven't moved. We're still at wherever DEF CON we were left at 3, I think it is, right? DEF CON 1 being the kickoff. So I think we're still at 3, but there's no confirmation that we moved to 2. 0. I looked all over the internet. I went on a couple sites, and they're assuming we're at DEF CON 2. Eric, exactly. That's the other thing. That's why I keep saying, that's why I tell people, like, again, Canadian Prepper was wrong for saying that because he doesn't know. And, again, I don't understand why people keep throwing the DEF CON levels. Yes, John Prepper and Eric, exactly. They're not going to release that. They'll probably release it at the last second, but as of right now, we're still at 3. So, and McBean says we're at 4. You can Google it at any time. Well, that's the problem, McBean. When you Google it, you come up with these sites that think what they know what DEF CON we're at, but I don't know. Listen, I don't know what Europe's at. I don't care what DEF CON Europe is at, but if they're at 2, okay, that makes sense. But listen, again, Canadian Prepper did a video last night, and he was talking about we can win. He says, whoever launches nukes first could win the nuclear war. No, there is no winning this nuclear war. We absolutely cannot win a nuclear war. Nobody can. No, let me walk that back. You know who wins a nuclear war? Those that are fucking hiding in the bunkers win nuclear wars. Because they can come out when the dust settles and the radiation levels are down and go, man, that sucked, right? The rest of us, we pay the consequences. Those of us that live topside. Now, I know some YouTubers, or not YouTubers, but preppers, you guys have underground bunkers. But we, the people, are ultimately the ones that lose. No one else. Looking at more nuclear research, and I was supposed to talk about a couple of issues. I'll get to them in a little bit. Looking at doing research on nuclear war here in the world, not just the United States, but around the world. There is a couple of safe spots in the United States, you might be able to weather the storm. Might, if you live topside. But in all actuality, guys, there is minimal survival of nuclear war. Now, the book that I showed you guys, Nuclear War Survival Skills, that's provided you build a bunker underground and you don't live topside. And there's a couple other things you have to do to mitigate your being exposed to radiation. As a whole, all of us together, there is no surviving nuclear war. If we go an all-out nuclear war and everybody launches, whether everybody launches the same day or everybody launches over a week or a month period, we all lose. And we all wind up dying eventually from radiation. That book is more designed for a nuclear strike, one, in the areas you live in. But when you look at the nuclear attack map, we are all fucking screwed. Doesn't matter where you live. Like I said, there are a couple of places but that you could weather the storm, but not many. And Troy, thank you for bringing it up. And then you have nuclear winter. Now, I am not saying by any stretch of the imagination you should give up. What I'm saying is that we have to rethink our nuclear plan, our survival plan, sorry. We have to think a little deeper. We have to think harder, and we have to spend a little more money and try to build something that's going to keep us out of harm's way. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying just give up and put a gun in your head. No, I'm saying that there are other things we can do to mitigate the a nuclear war's effect. But we have to do more. We can't just get canned goods and hope for the best. Purposeful Prepper. I have not watched it. I'm going to pull it up after I'm done with this. After I'm done with this, I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to sit through it. I think I've seen the movie before, Threads, but I'm gonna look it up and make sure that I've seen it because it sounds very familiar about the whole actual response to what happens in nuclear war. And again, for those of you that watched the movie, you saw what happened to the people in the movie. Yeah, not that kind of nuclear winter, 65 whaler. It's just going to be a bad day. And listen, everybody suffers. Everybody who everybody who's topside will suffer. Those who live in the ground will be okay. Deacon Prepper, yeah. The war is just for the rich. Catherine is called Threads. Like I said, I think I've seen it, but I gotta double check because there was another nuclear war movie that I watched as a kid. I'm not sure if this is Threads, but in the end, the family goes into the garage and turns the car on, and they wind up suffocating from carbon dioxide, monoxide from their car. And they were in the garage, and in the garage they had this absorbent amount of food. The day after, I've just seen recently. I seen it like 2-3 years ago. But yeah, I think that's what Threads was. I was gonna just take a glance at it now on IMDb. Russia does now is a small skirmish. They can go full World War II and get 50 million men if they want. Swole Survivor said he lives in Norway, so he's not worried about Russia. Listen, I mean, like, listen, I'm not worried about Russia except for the nuclear threat. And that's a concern, not so much a worry. I'm just like, McBean said that's not Threads. Okay, so that was another nuclear war movie that I watched. But I'm hoping somebody else remembers that nuclear war movie that I watched. That I could only remember the last scene in the movie, and was a family killing themselves in a garage. All right, so I'll look it up. All right, McBean, see you later. Russian says. Listen, so guys, I don't know how true it is, but I saw a article again. I don't know how true it is, but I saw an article saying that a bunch of kids in Russia were detained. Now, the article said arrested, but I don't even think the Russians would arrest kids. But these kids seemed to be 8, 9 years old, and they were protesting against the invasion. So they were Russian kids protesting against the invasion, and they were detained in a Russian police station. There were pictures of them actually sitting there looking like they were dejected or downtrodden, sitting there. So, again, guys, if that's Russia and that's the Russia people want to back, so be it. But I'm looking more into that story. Goodbye, world. Damn it. I got to find out the name of that movie, and I don't know how to look that movie up. But I remember watching that movie as a kid and saying, why are they killing themselves? Because they had an absorbent amount of food in their garage. But it looked like that one of the kids in the end of the movie was suffering from radiation poisoning. And I remember the mother was cleaning, I think it was a girl, out of the sink. And she wipes the girl down to dry her off, and there's blood coming from her backside. And she realized that, oh shit, this is bad. And then she took the kids, they got dressed, they put a movie on the door of the garage door, and they sat in the car and they turned the car on, and then they sat there and died. That's Testament, I believe. Someone said that's Testament, I believe. Now you're going to have me looking up fucking... So Threads is 1984, right? Is it a TV series or is it a movie? The Effects of Nuclear Holocaust. It's a movie. All right, it's 1984. And then there is Testament. Let's look that up real quick. If I could fucking spell. Testament. All right, Eric, thank you for that. That's what it was. Yeah, I think that was it. Holy shit. Yeah, Lucas Haas. That was it. That was the movie. Very good, man. Good memory. Well, like I said, all I can remember was the end of the movie. Appreciate that. So that's one I'm probably gonna wind up rewatching. Yeah, that was the movie. Yeah, The Day After is a good movie. That's a pretty good movie. Threads is a British TV movies. All right, I'll definitely look at that. Like I said, I'll look at that today. Not like I have a fucking ton of time, but I'll find time. And you could watch it on AMC Plus if you choose to pay for it. Don't. AMC Plus, like all of these TV apps, they're coming out with their own fucking plus. Watch 3 episodes and then subscribe to our Plus app, and you can watch more episodes. I'm like, really, fuckface? That's what they're doing now? They did that shit to. They did it to 1883 and Kings and Mayor of Kingstown, and of course, like the sucker I am, I bought into it. 300 Warriors said he's been in war before. Don't worry about it. Yeah, listen, I'm not harping on it anymore. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Either we're gonna be ready for it or we're not. That's as simple as it gets. We just saw a movie on YouTube called The Blackout. I'll look that up too. All right, so Threads, Blackout, and Testament. Well, is it a TV series? Because there's a fucking ton of them. Is it the 2019 movie? I think it's the Russian one, no? There's a Russian Blackout. And then there's like a million Blackout movies. But anyway. Yeah, 300 Warriors. You're right. You're probably right. But I tried that the whole Amazon thing. Where you upload that program on it, and that was cool while it lasted. But you had to constantly update it. It was a pain in the balls. And I did it myself. I updated it myself. I didn't have anybody do it for me. It was really easy to do, but I didn't do it myself. I mean, I did it myself because it was easy, but it just became a pain in the ass. Trying to sit there and cycle through files and make sure it was the right one. Sometimes you'll pick a file, you'll watch the movie halfway through, it stops. Like it's like fuck that. I just rather pay for it. It was just easy that way. Stalingrad. I'll look that up too. So, guys, what we were going to talk about, and we're going to get to it right now, is the Wednesday morning midweek report. So, for those of you that are worried about any kind of attack, which I think we are more likely to suffer cyber attack than anything else, we should pull money out of the bank. I don't know how much, but today I'm going to pull out some cash and keep it on hand. Supposedly, cyber attacks on banks are increasing day by day. Some people think it's linked to the Ukraine. It could be from China. Who the fuck knows at this point? Not the point. The point is, you want to be ready. You want to have your shit, some cash on hand. All right, and they've been warning about a cyber attack for the last couple weeks. It could happen. So we shall see. Again, just be ready, guys, and pull cash out of the bank. Yes, I heard about the black hole, the Watchman. I heard about that. Supposedly, it's going to pull us in, but I think we will be long dead before that happens. The black hole thing. We'll be long dead before that pulls us in. So I think humanity will be gone before that happens. But nonetheless, the Earth won't be here when it does. So moving right along, and yes, the black hole thing I wanted to talk about, but I didn't find an article on it. But whatever. Supposedly, there are two black holes colliding, and it could suck the solar system, our galaxy or solar system in. I'm not sure which one it is, but whatever one it is, we're fucked, right? That's basically how they summed it up. But again, it's gonna be down the line. We won't be here when that happens. So humanity shouldn't be here when that happens. Fearless Prepper said, if you're going to pull cash out, make sure you pull them out on smaller bills. My bank only gives us hundreds in gold bars, so I'm going to have to do my best. Break my gold bars into little slivers. Just kidding. I'll go to a store and break it down. Did Russia use their massive thermal bomb over Ukraine? Paladin, I didn't hear that. This world ends after the tribulation. And I guess. 300 Warrior, I did not hear about Pluto shifting. I would absolutely, if you have a link for that, or I'll just look it up. But no, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything about Pluto shifting. Okay, guys, so for those of you that are baseball fans, I didn't know this till yesterday, but apparently the baseball season will not be starting this year. There won't be an opening day. Let's put it like that. And so the president of the Major League Baseball, right? I don't know who the hell that is, but he was talking last night and it looked like he was about to cry. He said in his words, without opening day, this will be disastrous. As if a guy across the ocean with his hand on a button ready to launch all his nukes isn't a disaster, but baseball not being played is a disaster. That's rich people for you, and rich people in their ideologies. But anyway, there won't be an opening day this year, so those of you baseball fans out there, start crying now. I don't know why, but whatever. They're making this a big thing. I can care less because I'm not a baseball fan. Yeah, listen, it is what it is. It's baseball, guys. I mean, like, these guys make millions of dollars fucking running around the field chasing a little fucking ball, doing the people in the stands doing the wave, and fucking the elites in their fucking boxes laughing at the fucking peons down there running after a ball while they're making millions, if not billions of dollars a year. So I have no Bob Manfred. Right, that's his name, Bob Manfred. That sounded. Thank you, Pinch Runner. Sorry if I fucked your name up. So, yeah, it's baseball, guys. Fuck them. July 4th, 1776. The last shifting of Pluto was on July 4th, 1776. All right, unless it's going to shift into us. That's Alpha Haas. That's exactly what I said when he was crying. It looked like he was crying. I was like, yes, it's disastrous. Disastrous for your pockets. We don't care. It don't affect us. But it's funny how when shit affects rich people, it's disastrous, right? When it affects us, it's, well, you guys have to suck it up and deal with it. Like the mandates. You guys have to suck it up and deal with it. That was disastrous for a lot of people. Some people lost their jobs. But when they don't have an opening day, the shoe's on the other foot, and now it's disastrous. All right, whatever, man. Fuck you and your game. Matter of fact, I hope fucking baseball doesn't start this year at all, because that's fucking millions of dollars they lose a year. A game. Also, thank you, Blue Vandal and Yarn Prepper. Yes, guys. So apparently, I started, or rather, sorry, Nutrient Survival build a landing page for me. I am officially selling food for Nutrient Survival again, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, it's freeze-dried food, guys. Nutrient Survival is one of the better foods out there. If you're looking to protect yourself from a nuclear holocaust, do yourself a favor, buy Nutrient Survival. You can take the Nutrient Survival, pour water in it, rub it on your skin, and it'll protect you from a nuclear blast. I guess. It doesn't. But anyway, that's my commercial for Nutrient Survival. Buy that shit if you're hungry. If you're looking to survive whatever bullshit's coming our way, Nutrient Survival is the way to go. Commercial over. So anyway, man, with that being said, guys, millionaires and they're not making money is their major concern. Fuck us and all the shit we went through, but let's cry over this man and his millions being lost. I'm like, seriously, dude, really? I should sell spam. If I sold spam and did a commercial for spam, I'd be shooting at the can of spam, right? That's what I would do. So, guys, moving right along. The mask and arm ticket mandate will end the 7th, Monday, the 7th of February, sorry. March 7th, the mask and vaccine mandates will end here in New York City. Now, the mask mandates, interestingly enough, people are finding an issue with it. Every time they've reported the end of the vaccine and mask mandate this whole week, they followed it up by saying, well, if there is no upticks in cases. So they continuously instill the fear by saying, well, as long as nothing else happens, we'll drop all this other bullshit. So the mandate's ending here in New York City. Fearless prepper, exactly. I mean, it's a little on the nose that we're have this tension in the planet with the Ukraine and Russia crisis, and everybody is dropping the mandates. Now, to be fair, when Boris Johnson ended his mandates in the UK, I had a feeling that everybody else is going to follow suit about a month or two later, and that's where we are now. Now, the problem with the ending of the mandates is that they are still pushing the fear behind it. Because you got people saying, well, I still want to wear my mask. I still want my kid to wear a mask. If they social distance, it should be okay. Kids don't social distance. This is a parent saying this in school. Kids don't like social distance. You can't have kids social distance. It was the hardest thing to do. Now, there were some videos over the course of the last 2 years where they had kids social distancing and they look like fucking prisoners, right? Sit in a circle, don't move, eat your lunch, don't speak too loud, keep your mask on. In between bites, put your mask back up. You hear teachers yelling at these kids, put your mask back up, don't move. I'm like, kids automatically want to play. So, interestingly enough, these mandates now are ending, and now parents are like, but I want my kid to still wear a mask. Well, then you want your kid to be a pussy for the rest of his life. That's what I mean. But, Anyway, guys, now the vaccine mandate or the arm ticket mandate is ending as well. So, with that, guys, they are ending it for private sector, and that's ending on Monday. Interesting, they won't lift it for city workers. Now, I have a theory or an idea of why they don't want to end it for city workers, and that's because if they end it, they're going to be open up lawsuits. The problem is, it doesn't matter whether you end it this month or you end it a year from now, you're still going to have those lawsuits. Those lawsuits are waiting in the wind. They're waiting in the wind. They're waiting in the fucking, in the next room. They're waiting for him to end it because they're going to pounce all over him being Eric Adams. Eric Adams just a couple of weeks ago fired something like 1,400 city workers. Or maybe it was 4,000 city workers. I think it was 1,400. It wasn't 4,000. 1,400 city workers. That was February 11th. That Friday, those people were fired. 3 weeks later, you lift the mandate for private sector, restaurants, gyms, and things of that nature. So now I can, in theory, I can go to a restaurant now and eat like a human. I don't have to eat in one of their outdoor, dining areas. I can eat inside like a human. And I don't have to worry about being carded. Right? I can go to a gym now and work out. So I'm looking for a gym here in the city. I don't have to go all the way to Westchester now and look for a gym. So those are good things. Still want to get out of the city, though. Still want to leave this fucking shithole because crime is spiking. There's a lot of high-profile crimes happening here in New York City. I'll probably put a video together for that maybe this week. But every time I turn around, some poor lady's getting hit in the head with fucking something. Either stabbed in the back, hit in the head, pushed down the stairs. Here in New York City, crime has gotten so fucking bad. I mean, exponentially bad. It's unreal. So, guys, with that, mandates now, what they do is they're going to cause a little bit of a rift. Not a lot, but a little bit of a rift. Because you still have people who are scared about not social distancing and not wearing a mask. But again, guys, this is one of the things that they lifted, but people are still scared to do. So we got to wait and see. Yeah, exactly, Eric. And that's the thing. They have these people on film, and they're all wearing a mask. I'm like, so now they're like, yeah, we caught such and such. Now, here in the city, guys, if you so much as throw a rock through a window, they can track you from the moment you threw the rock till you go home because the camera's all the way here. Now, there's certain spots in the city that are dead zones, meaning there's no cameras, right? So there's a lot you can do and still get away with it. Listen, there's still crimes that they still haven't figured out who done it. You know, there are people who were shoved in the tracks. They don't know who it was. There are people who were stabbed in the back going to work. They don't know who it was. So this city, though they track, I hate to say fairly well, it's not always perfect. Sounds like a plan. Thank you for bringing that up. So there was a lady a couple of days ago, guys, that had shit thrown in her face. Right? It's called he calls it a feces assault, but it was a shit attack. The guy took shit. So he's walking down the platform. The lady is sitting there, and in the video, you can't see her face, but you can see she's minding her business. So she's just sitting there. And the guy, when you're looking at the guy, at first glance, you're looking at the guy like that's not the dude that's about to throw shit on her, right? Because he's like looking like he's about to eat some shit out of a bag. Eat shit out of a bag. So he looks like he's about to eat some shit. And as he's going by, he turns around and smashes the shit into her face and then rubs it on her like it's lotion. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm going to tell you right now. Had he threw shit on me, I would have killed him. You can, on YouTube, go on record, record me saying, I would have killed that dude. I wouldn't have beaten him. I would have threw him on the train tracks and threw him into the third rails. He would have died that day. That's what would have happened. Because there's no way you're throwing shit at me and then rubbing it on me. It ain't lotion, dude. He was like, and he kept fucking rubbing on her. I'm like, and she was just trying to like bat him away and like, you know, well, and it was just like, whatever, man. And you felt bad for the lady. She's trying to go to work and this dude is rubbing shit on her face. Like, Yeah, listen, guys. I'm sorry. That dude would have been fucking. Star Fury, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. And I've seen By Dawn's Early Light. I thought that was an awesome movie as well. Very awesome movie. Yes, listen, guys. New York is a good city. But with all the bullshit going on, yes, he rubbed it in her hair. And listen, guys, you ever seen anybody get shit in their hair? It's fucking. First of all, getting shit rubbed on you, the human body will automatically recognize what it is. It's undoubtable, right? As soon as it hits you, you're like, shit, and you're like, you start panicking, flipping out. And then they start rubbing it in your hair and all over your body. And if it gets into your fucking mouth, you might automatically start puking. All right. So, yes, Flint McRock, that's prison. But we don't live in a prison. We live in theoretically a free country, or out of prison society, rather. Sorry. And so getting shit thrown at you, like, yo, it would have, the guy would have been dead. I would have fucking, and then even if he got away, I would have hunted him down and killed him and his fucking parents for having him. All right, that's how far I would have gone because you're not throwing shit on me. That's where I have a line, and that's the line. Shit thrown at me. I would hunt. I would go back in time and fucking hunt his grandparents. That's how fucking pissed I would have been. I would have called Marty McFly. I'm like, yo, let's get in the DeLorean. Let's go back into time and let's fucking annihilate his family. That's how far I would have gone. Because rubbing shit, dude, is fucking whatever. Yes, Alpha Horse, it is biological warfare. Nonetheless, somebody's dying. Somebody in that family tree is getting fucking wiped out. But anyway, not the point. That was just a shitty thing to watch, and it was just the way he did it. It was sort of like there was no emotions behind it when he was doing it. It wasn't like he was angry. Yeah, Northern Girl Hobbies was in here. Shit, I missed her. Sorry about that. But yeah, if she was in here, I do appreciate it. But anyway, guys, whatever. This video is demonetized because after you start threatening that kind of shit, people are like, you can't go back in time and kill people for throwing shit on you. You absolutely could. Newcomer, there is Attack of the Footage. Just Google it. It will come up. Yeah. And Angela, exactly. Insane asylums have to come back. They have to come back. Thank you, Jane. Because these guys are walking around the street doing this. I mean, like, who the fuck stabs somebody in the back just because? Doesn't even rob them, just stabs them in the back. Right? Who knocks a lady in the back of the head with a hammer? Now, every time, now the one thing I have an issue with, and if any Asian people are on here, I do apologize, but bear with me. The Asian community here in New York City, every time now they're attacked, they're throwing up Asian hate. They're not taking account that the psych patients are attacking them just because they're psych patients. They're making it a racial issue. The last two attacks weren't about race. It was about the psych patient, the sicko, the asshole who's running around in the street attacking people. But as soon as you hit an Asian person, and now it's called Asian hate, and they turn it into a racial thing. It's not a racial thing. It's psych patients. The psych patients here in New York City are not being addressed. The psych patients here in New York City are running a fucking muck, and they are going unchecked. The Asian community, for a very long time here in New York City, has hated, not disliked, hated the black community. Now that they're being attacked, now they're trying to play the woe is me card. But for decades, guys, and I experienced it from them firsthand, all the time, they do not like black folks or anything that resembles black, for that matter, whether it's African, African American, Caribbean, they don't like it. The Asian community now wants people to feel bad for them, and I don't. I hate to be that asshole, but I do not feel bad because this is the shit that they have done to the black community and to black people individually for years. just hated us, ignored us, got us arrested, called the cops. They thought we were stealing, the whole 9 yards. And I don't want to go down that road. But every time the Asian community is on TV playing the woe is me card, I don't have that pity. Clara. So it's the older Asian community, yes, but I have experienced it with some young, right? And that's the problem, is that here in New York City, the melting pot, there's racism all over the place, and nobody wants to identify it. So I'm not just saying that the Asian community is the only one doing this. I'm just saying that how they treated the black community, but Dominicans and Puerto Ricans going at it with one another. Puerto Ricans going at it with Dominicans. Dominicans going at it with black folks. You have Russians that treat black folks like shit. You had fucking Jews that treated black folks like shit. But as soon as something happens to them, they want to play the race cards. Right? And so there's racism all over this city, but no one ever wants to talk about the racism all over the city. They want to talk about the one white guy that made a fucking comment, and all of a sudden all white New Yorkers are racist. Wrong. Racism is running rampant in the city. Nobody wants to call it out on its shit, right? I don't know how many times I've been called a nigga by a Dominican and how many times I've been treated like shit by an Asian person. And I say Asian because it's either Korean or Chinese, which are the bigger populations here. And then you have fucking Albanians going after fucking Muslims here in New York City. But no one wants to say anything, right? Steven, sorry. Yeah, that's the problem. No one addresses that racism. And now there are, for example, the Jewish community is doing these, hey, Bjorn, man, thank you for joining me today. I thought I saw your name in there. Thanks for joining me this morning. So, guys, again, racism here in the city is there. It's fucking evident. And then yet no one, listen, Africans don't like black Americans. Nobody addresses that, right? Again, guys, they like to call this the melting pot, but it's not a melting pot, it's a salad bar. Because at the end of the day, everybody goes back to their respective corners or respective spot in that salad bar. Yes, though we are different flavors and mixes, we're each in our individual containers at the end of the day. Adrian, I have potassium iodide. I have some in the closet. I bought it years ago. I know it's a little hard to get now. I was looking to buy some more. But again, I look at potassium iodide as a half measure. It's a half protection. You know, it only protects the thyroid, doesn't protect the other soft tissues that will absorb. That's why you also have to cover up in the whole 9 yards. But anyway, sorry for getting into that rant about racism. But guys, the whole racism bullshit here in America is bullshit. There are so many other racial incidences happening. You have black folks that don't want white people in my neighborhood. Why is that cracker ass cracker in my neighborhood? Right? Then you got the Gindaloons in fucking, well, they used to be in the Bronx, but I think they hang out in Brooklyn now. Why is that fucking nigga in my neighborhood? Right? You still have that shit going on, guys. Queens, sorry. Rockaway area. Right? You have all of this shit going on. You have Africans calling black Americans sellouts for coming here to America because we had a choice, right? Keep in mind, I'm Caribbean. I'm Caribbean Puerto Rican, right? So again, guys, nobody addresses racism. Everybody wants to blame white folks. Okay, that's childish. That's an easy scapegoat. Let's address all the racism. If we're going to address racism, let's address it all, right? Anyway, guys, dumb people with bigger problems to face. Yeah, Jake, and that's the other thing. I mean, like, listen, with all this shit going on, at this point, I can care less about what your race is. I only care if you can work and if you can actually be a decent human being when the time calls for it, right? That's what matters now. But anyway, guys, sorry for going into that rant. I do apologize for that. And I do apologize for my rant last night about the whole pro-Russia, pro-Putin thing. I know it pissed me off to no end, but I shouldn't have went that hard on it. God, I don't know if you're black or white. Not that it matters, but yeah. Listen, guys. So again, the whole race thing is it's a bigger issue than what America is making it out to be. I think. I mean, not that it's a bigger issue. Sorry, it's a more complex issue. Let me say it that way. Not so much it's a bigger issue, but whatever. And listen, guys, I've experienced it from all groups of people. All right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I've experienced it from white folks. I experienced it from Asians, Africans. The African one's a little more interesting because here I am, right? Young black man working in EMS. When I first joined the fire department back in 2000, I was an EMT. I remember picking up this African lady and thinking that us Africans, us black folks are the same. Like, hey, Mabutu. My name used to be Mabutu when I was in Africa 1,000 years ago. I'm thinking that we could jive. So, talking to this lady, and she's not talking to me. Now, because she's Muslim, I'm thinking, all right, she's not talking to me because she's Muslim. I get it. So I remember, and then, sorry, I wasn't talking to her. I was asking her questions, and every question was broken English. Okay. With that, guys, she's like answering one word answers and questions, and I'm like, so where's the pain? And she's like, she's pointing and she's acting like she doesn't know English. I take her to the hospital. This fucking bitch sounded like an English scholar. She was talking to the nurse, who was a white guy, like she spoke English better than me. I was like, what the fuck? I said, this bitch. And so with that, I'm annoyed. I'm like, oh, maybe she didn't want to talk to me because, I'm a guy in the back of an ambulance and she doesn't trust me. I get outside, my partner starts laughing, and he tells me, he's like, yo, Africans don't like us. Bottom line. He's like, he goes, you are, to them a sellout, and he goes into this whole history. So years later from that incident, I asked an African dude, what's up with that? And he tells me the same shit my partner told me. So, I mean, like, it was, like I said, guys, when she spoke English, it sounded like she had a British accent. All right, like the original English. She was just like, and yes, and today I had pain on my left side after I drank my tea. I was like, what the fuck did this bitch just? So, again, guys, and then experiencing that through the years with Africans, you learn just to tune it out. You're just like, all right, whatever, man, fuck those people, and that's what it was. The African community did have a bit of a pushback in the Bronx. There was a neighborhood in the Bronx that the black community and the African community were warring with each other, and it was more warring, like political warring. Like it was a tit for tat kind of thing going on out there in the Bronx, and then I saw the bigger picture. Anyway, with that, guys, there's bigger racism out there. Again, I experienced racism from Russians. I experienced racism from Dominicans all the time when I lived in Washington Heights. Not so much now. I think the newer generation's a little more subdued. Whether that's newer generations of Asian folks or Dominicans, I think they're a little more forgiving. But the old school guys, they didn't want to hear it, man. TL, exactly. That's the crazy shit. That's the crazy shit. But whatever, man. Whatever. Sergeant Rudy, exactly. I hate everyone. I hate everyone equally, just as well, man. I'm like, fuck this group, fuck that group of people, fuck those dudes. I mean, listen. I think all races can all agree that we all hate hipsters and Don Lemons. We probably can all agree on that. But outside of that, guys, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's not just having these fucking woke classes or these this what they call it, race theory bullshit. That's not going to fix it. That's never going to fix it. You're never going to fix a problem if you don't address it. And addressing it by having this race theory bullshit in the school is not it. Because you have to address all the racism all over the world, right? But that's not what we're doing. We're focused on the fake racism or piece of the racism puzzle, which is a couple of white folks that hate black people and not the entire gambit of other races that hate everyone, whether you're black, whether you're Asian. Everyone's hating everyone, right? And yes, we hate Eric Adams. That is for fucking sure. Eric Adams is a piece of shit. The guy's already pulling the race card, guys. I mean, how do we not Falcon One expand on that? How does a mayor get into office and as soon as they report on shit he doesn't like, that doesn't put him in a good light, it's racist? Well, they're reporting on me like this because I'm black. That came out of his mouth. So again, he's not a smart man. Some people would say he's smart. He isn't smart. He's not smart by a long shot. He's a stupid, complicating dude. He complicates things all the time. All the time. He'll make situations worse than it has to be. Eric Adams, I'm talking about. De Blasio did the same thing too. It's like he took the page out of De Blasio's book and said, let's complicate shit. So prepping outside the box. Thank you for joining me today, by the way. Haven't seen you in a while. Says he had those conversations with Ugandans that he worked with. Yes, there's a term. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a South African term from Black South Africans, but they call us kafir or kafir boy, being I'm a boy, a kafir girl. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a South African term for Black Americans, and it's a degrading term actually. But yeah, again, guys, racism all over the place. It's like fucking being a Black American. You got to fucking take it on from certain white Americans, and then you got to fucking fight Asian Americans, whether that's, Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, or Indians, and then you got to fucking take it from the Albanians and the fucking Russians. It's like we're fucking defending ourselves like the Matrix in this fucking country at times. Now that I'm older, I don't fucking pay it much mind. I let it go. Someone's looking at me the wrong way, I'm like, the fuck that dude, but I don't pay it mind anymore. But growing up, that's the shit we had to contend with. Autoimmune Prepper, thank you for joining us today as well. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for joining me this morning. Appreciate it. Al-Qaeda is the term? Is that it? Okay. Because there was another term called kafir, if I'm saying it right. If I'm even saying it at all right. Jason, you're going to do a fitness program for 50 to 65. Yes, I will be doing old people fitness program. And that's what I'm calling it. Old people fitness program. So if you're offended, sorry. Not sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Yes, Mexicans are racist against others too. Yeah, guys, again, there's race. Listen, Native Americans are racist against black folks. Native Americans are racist against white folks. Right? Native Americans are racist against Mexicans. I was surprised about that. I was surprised about them being racist towards blacks, and I experienced it from Native Americans. I experienced it here in New York City with the Native American group downtown, and I experienced it in Arizona a couple times. I was like, what the fuck, man? Seriously? Like, I thought we were all in the same boat, but whatever. Apparently we're not. Yes, listen, guys, the fitness channel wasn't going to start. I remember I threw the idea to myself. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But then I thought about it. I'm like, it'll give me a daily challenge. Because you have to come up with content almost every day. So that, not every day, but you have to come up with a lot of content for a fitness channel. A fitness channel is not a prepper channel where you can do 1 or 2 videos a week. A fitness channel, you have to put at least 4 to 5 videos a week, right? So I should be releasing 2 more videos this week because that's how you, first of all, keep people's interest. 1, 2, there's so much information out there when it comes to fitness. It's insane. Guys, exactly. Those of you who are saying it, stupid comes in all shapes and colors, and stupidness comes in all fucking, comes from every form, everywhere, all people, right? The one thing about stupidity is that stupidity is not prejudice. It affects everyone the same, right? I'm a Native American from California. Very good. Jeanette, if I'm saying your name, how are you so special? In regards to what? When you guys ask me these questions, you definitely have to expand on it because I'm moving so fast. By the time you guys type and release the question, I moved on to fucking 8 different subjects. Cat with the hat. Cat with the hats. All right, get it. Fasting has its place. Everything has its place, guys, for certain times. Certain diets are great for certain results, right? And fasting is good because if you're doing intermittent fasting, there's actually a doctor that I've been following. And intermittent fasting is, as a whole, great for the body. Oh, Jeanette, how am I different? I'm not special. I'm just saying everyone hates blacks. But if you were listening, I'm saying that blacks hate everyone as well. I didn't say that, but I'm saying it now. Blacks hate other races as well. Other races hate other races. That's what I've been saying. If all you heard was, me saying that, then clean out your ears. I don't know what to tell you. But I said that racism as a whole is across the board. It's not just white folks speaking against blacks or blacks against whites. There's a bigger issue with that. Yes, Jeanette. I said that. I'm not going to address it again. But there is something called a rewind button. No, maybe it's not a rewind button. But go back. I said it numerous times that other people are victims of racism. I did say that Dominicans against Puerto Ricans or Mexicans against Native Americans. I just said that. Clean out your ears. Go at least 16 hours of eating. Mighty Warrior. 16 hours of eating are for professional, how do you say, intimate fasting people. Seems. Yes, it's a very big club. Racism is not exclusive to one group of people. It's for everyone. But we need to address that. Absolutely. We need to address the entire gamut, not the little thing. But back to intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is great for the body, guys. It relieves a lot of inflammation, believe it or not. That's the major thing about intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting seems to, according to the doctor that I'm following, cure a lot of ailments in the human body. So, Jeanette, you're probably right. I do need to lighten up. I do apologize. So, guys, yeah. With that being said, intermittent fasting is good, but you have to be responsible. I wouldn't start out with 16 hours. I would start out with 8, 12, and then move up to 16. But 12 seems to work perfect for a lot of people. What am I saying? Intermittent fasting? Sorry, intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. Sorry. I know I keep saying it wrong. Big Chap, she's not trolling. We have conversations on here a lot, so she's not trolling. Uncle Charlie, that's the thing. So some people, when you begin, 8 hours of fasting is from when you're sleeping. If you're getting 8 hours of sleep, not everybody's getting 8 hours of sleep. Yeah, I say intermittent fasting wrong all the time. It's intermittent fasting. But whatever. You guys know what the fuck I'm saying. And so, right, Angry Homesteader, the object of the channel is to start slower. It's not to go full steam ahead, right? Because, listen, how many of us started diets and we started at fucking 90 miles an hour instead of easing into it? You got to ease into this shit. You can't just tomorrow throw on a 10-pound or 20-pound vest and start running, right? You're going to blow something out. You're going to fucking ease up, right? You can't just get on the bench press, a barbell, and start benching 315 pounds out of the gates. You are undoubtedly going to hurt something. So you have to start slow. And the problem with diets and workout programs is they don't start slow. Now, there are people who can handle jumping into those workout programs fast, right? You can jump into them and have no problem. But thank you, Kit Carlson. You have to condition the body. The body has to warm up to it, especially in our older ages. Now, when we were younger, we were able to jump into certain things without batting an eyelash, without stretching, right? But we're not there anymore. A lot of us are not young anymore. Some of us still have to ease into it. I went to do a pull-up the other day, and I might as well had 500-pound plates on my fucking feet. because it was insane. I was struggling and screaming, and I started crying. I was like, why is this happening to me? And then I fell to the ground, curled up into a ball, was hugging myself. I was like, I'm a weak bitch now because I couldn't do one pull-up. Actually, I got one out of the way, and it was a struggle. So I haven't done pull-ups in over 6 months because of an injury. And then thinking I could do it again, it didn't happen. So, again, guys, back to the gym I go. Purposeful prepper happens to all of us, man. Happens to every last one of us. You know, we stop going to the gym and it's done. You know. So again, guys, and that's the other thing too. Queen Red Pill, thank you for bringing that up. She said first food to take in the morning is warm water, warm lemon water. Water across the board, guys, is the first thing that should be entering your body when you wake up. Warm lemon water is better, right? I start the morning with water, and then I move on to coffee right away. But normal mornings, I try to wait till noon before I have my first cup of coffee because I like drinking it with half and half. That's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to wait till the noon to get to that point. Now, some people will say you can start with water, and then your first drink, if you're doing the intermittent fasting, is green tea, no sugar, or green tea with honey. Right? That's the first thing you should have. And then your first, whatever it is, meal after noon will be whatever you want, but it should be healthy. It shouldn't be a cheeseburger. Right? Even though I love cheeseburgers. And it's crippling me right now to not have an awesome cheeseburger. Crippling me. And some people are like, you can have it without the bun. It's not the fucking same. There are certain things on this planet I am not negotiating. Burgers and coffee with half and half are non-negotiable. That's why I wait till after noon. So aftershock, there's again with the fitness community, there's a big argument with the whole black coffee fasting thing. It's crazy because it's like people are like, oh, you can drink black coffee when you're intermittent fasting, and then other people are like, no, you can't. That's why I said green tea, because that's the safe zone, right? Because then you won't get into any arguments with that. Just some dude. I'm probably gonna have a cheeseburger at some point today. It's gonna piss my wife off, but whatever. It'll be okay. So, and Angela, thank you for bringing that up. Intermittent fasting is good, right? The first thing you eat has to be a clean diet, right? So again, you can't have cheeseburgers, you can't have Doritos or Cheez-Its or whatever the fuck it is. You have to have a clean eating diet. Because the other thing is, a lot of foods we eat are also cause inflammation, right? So there's also, speaking of inflammation, which I'm going to talk to in later videos on the Angry Prepper Fitness channel, which I don't know why I'm talking about it here, but a lot of foods we eat cause inflammation within the body. Intermittent fasting, relieves a lot of that inflammation. And if you eat a clean diet, you bring that inflammation down even further. Arkansas Living, no sweet tea. At first thing in the morning, green tea would be the move. Falcon 1, I absolutely do. I'm not even gonna front. I love sugar. That's my problem. I've been backing down my sugar. So again, remember when I said you don't start from 0 to 60? I've been lessening the sugar in my coffee till I could get to the no sugar in my coffee. So instead of putting, let's say, 2 tablespoons, which yes, some people do. I used to do it. Guilty. You do a teaspoon. You do a tablespoon and a half. Then you do a tablespoon. Then you do half a tablespoon. Then you do teaspoons. Then you start doing like 2 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon, and you back it all the way off. It's like a heroin addict, right? You wean yourself off. You don't just quit. When you just quit something, that's when you get that whole jittery, I have to have it. When you start backing it down, you start thinking, all right, I could do without this, because your body's adjusting to the lack of sugar. So Mike said I went cold turkey. Yes, some people will go cold turkey. Some people can't. I can't do cold turkey. I suck at it. Mighty Warrior, no more soda. So I love soda, and another guilty pleasure of mine. But I love soda in a can, right? So if the can's not available, I won't drink soda now. I used to drink 12 cans of soda when I was a fireman, I used to drink 12 cans of soda and a 24. By the time I left the job, I was down to one can of soda at night, or during the day, rather. Sorry. Sugar is gay salt. Yeah, Alpha Horse. I don't care about any of that. I do practice it more now that I'm older because rounding the curve, but sugar's just one of those things that I like. It's a guilty fucking pleasure. And I have switched over to honey in my tea. So sugar is easier, but honey is healthier. Um, Angry homesteader. That's my point. Why I said you wean off of sugar. Some people like myself, we get headaches if we don't have sugar. Same thing with coffee. If you just quit coffee cold turkey, you get those headaches. Yes. Amazon 3223. When I get to the keto diet portion of the channel, that's gonna suck. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. The no sugar, that's gonna crush me. But again, to prove a point and to stick the diet out, you have to get it done. But that's why also I'm weaning myself off, right? You can have coffee and tea, no sugar. So Cindy Joe, French press coffee will allow me to drink my coffee without sugar, or half and half. But that's why I love what you call. But if I have to go to like a Starbucks or whatever to get coffee there, no, then I wouldn't drink the coffee. I'd rather have tea. Is it? Dandelion tea is similar to coffee. I didn't know that. My dentist hates me because I don't eat sugar. Nice. Dave, there's a big argument with keto and Atkins. Yes, the people that's the Atkins diet. It's the Atkins diet on steroids, I would say, right? Valerie Peters, I'll be doing keto later in the year. We're going to talk about other diets as well, right? And I'm going to probably do it for 30 days. And then there's the whole clean, the clean 30 something 30 clean day diet. What is it called? The whole 30 days. The whole I don't know, whatever. Some of you guys, somebody will figure it out. There's that other diet that people were doing as well. There's a bunch of diets out there that we're going to explore and talk about. The whole 30. That's what it is. That's what the diet is. The whole 30. That's another diet. Thank you, Nicole Marie. Right. The whole 30. We're going to explore that diet as well. So we're going to do different diets. And hopefully it doesn't completely wreck my body because I like to look a certain way by June, July, summertime. But, we'll see. I'm willing to put my body through through ringers. I don't like lettuce in my coffee. Did somebody met? Whatever. Not gonna entertain that. Like I said, guys, there's all kind of diet. There's a soup diet. I mentioned that earlier. Someone's like, soup? Really? Yes, there is a soup diet. There's eating just soups. There's the smoothie diet for 3 days. Or cleansing diet, drinking smoothies for 3 days, right? So there are different diets out there, guys. It's not, and again, these diets are meant for different people for different results. It is not a one size fit all. Prepping outside the box. I do track my macro. I use an app. I think it's called My Diet Net. Hold on, let me pull it up. I have it on the phone. I think I have it on the phone. My Net Diary. Sorry, that's the app I use to count my that I was using to count my macronutrients. That's a good app. And then My Fitness Pal is another one. They're really good if you get down to that phase. Now, uh, counting your macros, guys, that's extreme dieting, right? So, um, it's not for the beginners. Now, some people can handle it, but not everybody can handle uh, counting their macros. I would reserve that for people who are looking to absolutely shred down to a nice physique like those guys in 300, right? They all had six packs and muscle. That's like that kind of diet. And that's, you get to that when you're doing macro counting of your diet, you can get down to that shape and then maintain. And then there's a maintaining diet. And a maintaining diet, guys, is something where you can eat some junk food here and there, but you eat a certain amount of food and certain types of food for the duration. And that's you uh, maintaining your physique if you want to stay a certain way, right? I know, guys, it's not as hard as one would think. Once you get to the maintaining portion of any diet or maintaining the physique you want, that's easy street. And what you do is every week you get on the scale. All right, I gained a couple pounds here. You go to the gym, you're like, shit, I missed this lift. Maybe I need to fucking tone down this or add that to my diet. I'm not walking as fast as I was last week, okay, because I took too much on my diet of this and not enough of that, right? It's a balancing act. Dieting is a balancing act. And it can be hard at times, but most people can mull through it. So, holy shit, guys, we went a little further than I would have expected. So, with that, guys, we're going to go off the air. AP diet? No. The AP diet would consist of burgers, bacons, and cake. Not a fun diet. For me, it's a fun diet, but not for the fitness community. Angry homesteader. I would definitely say a gym. There's a lot of benefits to going to a gym than working out at home. Working out at home is great when you don't have the time or you don't have the time, right? Or it's a rainy day outside and you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to the gym in this weather. Then you can work out at home. Peaceful Monkey, cut the shit. He just said 5 guys. Now that's all I'm going to be thinking about from now till fucking the end of this week. So, gyms are better. Gyms have more motivation to it. There's a couple of motivating factors with going to a gym. And that's why gyms are great. But if you're short on time and you don't want to weather whatever storm's out there, stay at home and work out. All right, guys. So other than that, and yes, Alpha Horse, you get bored easily at home. Absolutely. With that, guys, thank you for watching. I think the Angry Prepper Fitness channel, I think they unlocked the live stream capabilities. So I will be able to do live stream workouts, but they will be in the morning, early in the morning, anywhere between 7, 8 in the morning to 9 o'clock the latest, maybe 10 on a bad day. But nonetheless, we'll be doing live stream workouts as well. So either if you people want to watch me make a fool of ourselves or join in, so be it. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate the support.